Leaving while staying. We know that SpaceX's bold move to relocate its headquarters from California to Texas was aimed at escaping the blue curtain here. But it seems not to work much as they still operate extensively in the Golden State, particularly at Vandenberg for launches. This has become a double-edged sword, as California officials are now using this to slow down SpaceX's launch pace. Following the California Coastal Commission's move last year, another state representative is now stepping up to challenge SpaceX's plans, putting pressure on the Pentagon to intervene. Will the Air Force defend SpaceX and their strategy to the end? Tune in to find out all the thrilling details in today's episode. Anyway, thank you for helping us reach 90,000 subscribers. Our next goal is 100,000, and we need your support to get there. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. We appreciate your help. Thank you. It's safe to say the biggest hurdle for SpaceX in launching a rocket is not a technical concern, but regulatory. As you know, Elon Musk's rocket company previously proposed increasing the number of SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket launches at Vandenberg Space Force Base from 36 to 50 per year. The plan also included up to 50 at-sea landings. However, this raises concerns from both environmental organizations and the general public regarding the environmental impacts of increased rocket launches. Many environmental organizations and members of the public are advocating for a pause on increasing the launch frequency until more comprehensive data is collected on the environmental effects of the current 36 launches. They argue that without sufficient data, the potential negative impacts on local ecosystems and communities remain uncertain. Residents have expressed concerns about the sonic booms generated by rocket launches and landings. Some individuals reported feeling plain scared out of their minds due to these disturbances, fearing damage to their homes and disruptions to their daily lives. The National Defense Authorization Act has acknowledged these noise concerns in a report, noting that they can significantly impact various facilities, including hospitals and schools. To handle this issue, it recommends that the Defense Department implement a noise mitigation program similar to the existing Community Noise Mitigation Program for military fixed-wing aircraft. This program aims to assist communities affected by noise from military operations by funding the installation of noise-reducing insulation in buildings and residences. The report language was inserted by Representative Salud Carbajal of California, a member of the House Armed Services Committee, whose district includes Vandenberg. Residents of the Central Coast in Lompoc and other communities nearby Vandenberg have shared their growing concerns as increased space launch cadence makes launch noise a larger burden on their routines and quality of life, he said in a statement about the noise provision. This language makes it clear to the Department of Defense that these are not concerns they can plug their ears and ignore. Congress will take these impacts seriously. To be honest, sonic booms are not only attributed to rocket launches. It became part of the public consciousness during the advent of supersonic air travel in the mid-20th century. SpaceX's rocket launches are now bringing sonic boom conversations back to the fore. For example, during Starship Flight 5, there were reports from people near the launch site that they experienced thunderous noise as Super Heavy returned to the launch site. SpaceX also admitted this, but affirmed that the sonic boom did not have much impact on the environment around. The general impact to those in the surrounding area of a sonic boom is the brief thunder-like noise. The FAA, in consultation with the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, evaluated sonic booms from the landing of the Super Heavy and found no significant impacts on the environment. Although animals exposed to sonic booms may be briefly startled, numerous prior studies have shown sonic booms of varying intensity have no detrimental effect on wildlife. In fact, there is no instances of property destruction were publicly reported after the test flight. Anyway, SpaceX is likely collecting data on the noise levels and exploring potential mitigation strategies to address community concerns. Simultaneously related to this matter, Elon Musk previously shared a funny story that his company was forced to conduct an experiment to assess the impact of sonic booms on seals. SpaceX was required to kidnap seals, strap them to boards, put headphones on them, and play sonic booms to them. The experiment was conducted twice to assess how sonic booms might affect the local seal population near SpaceX launch sites. Ridiculously, the seals appeared to remain calm throughout the process. Musk shared a picture of a seal strapped to a board wearing headphones, seemingly unbothered while listening to the sonic boom. Now, back to the Falcon 9 and the plan to speed up its launches on the West Coast. Obviously, since the Falcon 9 booster is almost half the size of the Super Heavy, the sonic boom it can produce is only 1/10 of that of Starship's booster. So it wouldn't be a big deal if SpaceX launched 100 Falcon 9 rockets a year at Vandenberg. Not to mention, the 100 rockets launched annually from one location are a fraction of the approximately 100,000 commercial flights that take place every day around the world. Of course, Salud Carbajal is not the pathfinder in this matter. In October, the California Coastal Commission voted 6-4 to reject a request from the U.S. Space Force to increase the number of SpaceX Falcon 9 launches at Vandenberg Space Force Base from 36 to 50 per year. This decision was primarily symbolic, as the Commission lacks the authority to unilaterally block such increases, but it drew significant attention due to the underlying reasons and implications. Some commissioners expressed their opposition to the increase based on comments made by Elon Musk, particularly regarding his political activities and business practices. This included concerns about his influence in national affairs and the perception that SpaceX primarily serves commercial interests rather than government needs. Commissioner Dana Bochco stated that SpaceX should be seeking its own permits rather than relying on military classification for its launches. Following the rejection, SpaceX announced plans to sue the California Coastal Commission, alleging naked political discrimination. The company argued that the Commission's decision was influenced more by political sentiments regarding Musk than by legitimate environmental concerns. While the Commission didn't like SpaceX doing 50 launches from Vandenberg, the federal government is doing a study to allow SpaceX 100 launches instead. The proposal could be presented in early 2025. Yes, you heard right. The U.S. Air Force, along with the U.S. Coast Guard and the Federal Aviation Administration, plans to draft an environmental impact statement with public input that evaluates the impacts of the proposed plan. Its purpose is to allow even more SpaceX launches from Vandenberg and refer to the use of a second launch pad. The study will consider the implications of raising the number of Falcon 9 launches at Vandenberg from the current 36 to potentially 100 annually. This includes both launches from the existing Space Launch Complex SLC-4 and a newly redeveloped SLC-6, which was previously used for Delta IV launches. That includes booster landings at both launch sites as well as drone ships downrange. The EIS will examine the environmental impacts associated with modifying SLC-6 to accommodate Falcon 9 and Falcon Heavy operations. This redevelopment is crucial for supporting increased launch activities and includes the construction of necessary infrastructure such as landing zones. The Air Force plans to host 3 in-person public meetings on January 14th through 16th in Ventura, Santa Barbara, and Lompoc, California, and 1 virtual meeting on January 23rd to gather community feedback on the environmental analysis. These meetings are an opportunity for residents to voice their concerns and provide input on the proposed increases in launch activity. The EIS process is essential for compliance with federal regulations, including those set by the Federal Aviation Administration, FAA. Although the completion of the EIS does not guarantee approval for increased launches or modifications to existing licenses, it is a critical step in assessing safety and environmental risks. This is a strategic move of the Pentagon to ensure defense interests, especially in the context of tense conflicts between the United States and the China-Russia alliance. It can be said that SpaceX contributes predominantly to the dramatic increase in the number of launches from Vandenberg, rising from just one orbital launch in 2020 to a total of 47 in 2024. With plans to increase to 100 SpaceX launches per year from the site, the U.S. Space Force, aka USSF, aims to meet growing military and commercial demands, including support for allies and disaster response initiatives. Vandenberg is unique in its ability to launch into polar orbits without overflying populated areas, making it a strategic asset for national defense. For SpaceX, Vandenberg is just a 2-hour drive from Hawthorne, where SpaceX headquarters is located. While both the Pentagon and SpaceX are working hard to ensure national interests, unfortunately, California Coastal Commission rules restrict the ability of USSF to enhance military capabilities in low Earth orbit, which are crucial for weather monitoring, intelligence, and communication systems. This ruling undermines U.S. national security strategies by limiting access to space at a time when threats from adversaries like China and Russia are escalating. These nations have developed capabilities to target satellites, making it essential for the U.S. to maintain a robust presence in space. Therefore, to ensure that U.S. space capabilities are not compromised, we clearly need collaboration between state agencies and military interests to address environmental impacts while maintaining national security objectives. It's uncertain what lies ahead, but SpaceX consistently excels despite ongoing difficulties. The year 2024 is undoubtedly challenging for the company, yet they have not only persevered, but also achieved a new global record for launches. In 2024, there were 259 attempts at orbital launches, marking a 17% increase from the previous record of 221 in 2023. This count excludes suborbital launches, such as 4 test flights of SpaceX's Starship Trosh Super Heavy and 2 launches of Rocket Lab's HASTE suborbital variant. SpaceX's performance mirrored this overall increase, with the company executing 134 Falcon 9 and Falcon Heavy launches in 2024, up from 96 in 2023. Notably, SpaceX conducted more orbital launches than all other global entities combined. Specifically, SpaceX was responsible for 88 of the 93 launches from Florida's Eastern Range, which includes Cape Canaveral and Kennedy Space Center, and 46 of the 47 from California's Western Range at Vandenberg Space Force Base. In contrast, other U.S. organizations managed only 20 orbital launches in total, including 13 by Rocket Lab from New Zealand. China achieved a record of 68 launches in 2024, surpassing its previous high of 67 in 2023. Russia followed with 17 launches, while Japan had 7, India 5, Iran 4, Europe 3, and North Korea 1. Despite significantly increasing its launch frequency in 2024, SpaceX did not meet its internal target. The company aimed to launch 148 Falcon rockets this year. Gwynne Shotwell, SpaceX's president and COO, noted, "The original goal for 2024 was 144 launches, but the company added the 4 launches it did not perform in 2023 to reach that year's goal of 100. Those absurdly ambitious goals," she said, "are intended to combat conservatism and risk aversion at the company." In December, she announced a new target of 136 launches for the year. These accomplishments inspire the company to aim even higher, with plans for 175 to 180 Falcon launches in 2025. Additionally, SpaceX intends to escalate Starship launches, including its first true orbital missions in that year. The company anticipates that Starship will ultimately achieve a launch rate significantly exceeding that of Falcon, potentially up to 1,000 times annually. SpaceX's footprint in Vandenberg Space Force Base has appeared since 2005, when the first Falcon 1 arrived at the launch site. SpaceX initially selected this place due to its close proximity to the company's headquarters. Since then, the company has actively increased its operations in this location, including the development of new launch facilities, the launch of satellites into polar orbits for military missions, and the leasing of additional launch complexes. Following SpaceX's granted use of Vandenberg Space Launch Complex 3 in 2004, the company continues to be licensed to use Vandenberg Space Launch Complex 6 in 2023. This facilitates SpaceX to increase the number of its annual launches from 36 to 40-50, under the agreement with Air Force, in the interest of national security. The Air Force said the proposal met California Coastal Agency requirements, including sonic boom minimization measures and biological monitoring. Despite the importance of those rocket flights, the California Coastal Commission decided to reject the proposal, citing Musk's political posts on X as an unwarranted reason. This incident occurred in the context of the race to the White House being hotter than ever, as Elon Musk endorsed Donald Trump and became a mega donor. Meanwhile, California, the home state of Trump's Democratic rival, Kamala Harris, has shifted to a solidly Democratic state in recent decades, with the party holding statewide offices and throwing its weight behind Democratic candidates in national elections. In addition, SpaceX's plan faces opposition from many environmental groups and the public due to concerns about the sonic booms created by rocket launches and landings. These noise concerns were noted in a report inserted by Representative Salud Carbajal of California, a member of the House Armed Services Committee, whose district includes Vandenberg. For those who don't know, sonic booms are primarily associated with objects traveling faster than the speed of sound, creating shock waves that result in a loud noise similar to an explosion. This phenomenon became widely recognized during the mid-20th century, with the advent of supersonic air travel, particularly with aircraft like the Concorde, which was one of the first commercial supersonic airliners. Therefore, it's safe to say the sonic boom is not something new to the public consciousness, and even more familiar to residents who live near the rocket launch sites. At present, the impact of these shock waves remains controversial. Ironically, while California officials concentrate on contentious and low-pressing issues like sonic booms, they overlook pressing environmental problems with clear and tragic consequences, such as the wildfires raging in Los Angeles on January 8th. SpaceX CEO Elon Musk highlighted this during an interview with Mark Penn, CEO of Stagwell. He stressed the urgent need for effective wildfire prevention strategies in California, advocating for fire breaks and brush clearance around homes to reduce fire hazards. Musk criticized environmental regulations that impede these essential actions, pointing out that restrictions aimed at protecting endangered species like the red-legged frog and the smelt fish prevent necessary brush clearing. He argued that these regulations contribute to excessive freshwater runoff and insufficient wildfire preparedness, exacerbating tragedies in areas like Los Angeles. The shortage of fresh water, in this case, is attributed to Governor Gavin Newsom's refusal to sign the Water Restoration Declaration put before him that would have allowed millions of gallons of water from excess rain and snow melt from the north to flow daily into many parts of California. In Musk's view, maintaining full reservoirs and implementing sensible fire management strategies could have significantly mitigated wildfire damage and saved many from suffering. President Trump has called for the Democratic governor of California, Gavin Newsom, to resign in the wake of this serious incident. One of the best and most beautiful parts of the United States of America is burning down to the ground. It's ashes, and Gavin Newsom should resign. This is all his fault. In response to Trump's post on Truth Social, Elon Musk tweets, "It's over for Gavin. It has no doubt what's happening in California further contributed to the state's already bruised reputation. From a near-paradise state, the Golden State has become a haven for homeless refugees, the mentally ill, drug addicts, and criminals." Elon Musk has increasingly criticized California as an unfriendly environment for business, particularly in light of recent political developments and regulatory changes. he has voiced strong opposition to California's regulations, particularly those he believes hinder innovation and business operations. He described California as a one-party state that is hostile to business and innovation, suggesting that the state's leadership has become complacent due to its long-standing economic success. If you had a gun to California Governor Gavin Newsom's head and said, "We need to start building this factory right now," he couldn't do it, Musk said. There are so many regulatory agencies and so many litigators in California that want to stop you from doing anything that, even if you're the governor of the state, you cannot get it done, he added. This statement was given 1 year after his decision to move Tesla's headquarters from the Bay Area, California, to Austin, Texas. At the time, Musk said he'd moved Tesla's main headquarters because it grew difficult for employees to afford houses in the Bay Area, causing some employees to commute from far away, Musk said. There's a limit to how big you can scale in the Bay Area, he said. In 2024, Elon relocated the headquarters of his other company, SpaceX, to the Lone Star State and established a new city, namely Starbase, in Boca Chica. This move followed a tweet targeting the California governor, reflecting Musk's dissatisfaction with California's business climate. However, there was more to this transition than just spiting his perceived enemies. At his core, Elon is an analytical mind. Musk found Texas appealing due to its open land, lower taxes, fewer regulations, and more affordable housing. These factors are seen as conducive to scaling operations and attracting talent. All of this explains Musk's long-standing presence in Texas. In 2014, SpaceX selected Boca Chica Beach, near Brownsville, Texas, to build the new commercial launch facility. By early 2018, SpaceX announced that Boca Chica, which was later called Starbase, would be dedicated exclusively to the development and testing of its next-generation vehicle, Starship. This leads to a series of heavy investments from both SpaceX and the other businesses in the small border town, transforming it into a bustling area. In 2024, the rocket company took a formal step toward transforming its Starbase into an incorporated city. It started with a request for an election to approve the incorporation. SpaceX stated that the petition had been submitted by residents of the area currently identified as Starbase. Alongside SpaceX, Musk's other ventures, including the Boring Company and Neuralink, also established operations in Texas. The Boring Company opened Hyperloop Plaza near SpaceX in Bastrop County, while Neuralink constructed a new facility nearby. Musk's future vision is also in his plan for a futuristic community named Snail Brook. The project involves thousands of acres of farmland outside Austin. This new community is designed to provide housing and amenities for workers from Musk's companies, including SpaceX and Tesla. Additionally, Musk's social media company X is also moving its headquarters to Texas. This move is partly motivated by his dissatisfaction with California's political climate and the high costs associated with maintaining an office in San Francisco. While shifting the focus to Texas, SpaceX keeps its launch operation in the Golden State via the military launch contracts in the Vandenberg base. On the night of January 9th, the company completed its first West Coast Falcon 9 launch of the year, which featured the latest batch of Starshield satellites for the National Reconnaissance Office. Liftoff of the NROL-153 mission from Pad 4 East at Vandenberg Space Force Base happened at 7:53 p.m. PST, or 10:53 p.m. EST. This was SpaceX's fourth orbital launch of the year. The Falcon 9 first stage booster for this mission, tail number B1071 in the SpaceX fleet, launched for the 22nd time. Its previous flights included 3 rideshare missions, Transporter 8, Transporter 9, and Bandwagon 2, 4 missions for the NRO, NROL-87, NROL-85, and NROL-146, NASA's SWOT spacecraft, and 13 Starlink flights. A little more than 8 minutes after liftoff, B-1071 landed on the drone ship. Of course I Still Love You, marking the 116th landing for this drone ship and the 394th booster landing to date. The NRO-L153 mission was the first launch of the year, supporting the NRO's proliferated architecture satellite constellation. It completed 6 launches using Falcon 9 rockets in 2024 and listed at least 5 missions planned for 2025. SpaceX's Starshield represents a significant advancement in the realm of military satellite communications, designed to cater specifically to national security needs. Announced in 2022, Starshield is essentially a military-grade counterpart to SpaceX's well-known Starlink network, leveraging the company's extensive experience in deploying large satellite constellations. The initiative focuses on 3 primary areas: Earth observation, secure communications, and hosting payloads for defense operations. Unlike Starlink, which serves commercial and consumer markets, Starshield is tailored to meet the stringent requirements of government agencies, featuring enhanced security protocols and high-assurance cryptographic capabilities to handle classified data. This emphasis on security is critical, as the satellites will support various military applications and provide global communication services to government users. In October 2023, the U.S. Space Force awarded SpaceX a $70 million contract for Starshield, marking a pivotal step in integrating private sector capabilities into national defense strategies. This partnership reflects a broader trend of the Space Force, moving away from lengthy acquisition processes toward more agile commercial solutions. The contract aims to enhance the U.S. military's satellite infrastructure, ensuring robust support for land, maritime, and mobility platforms. As competition intensifies in the space domain, Starshield is poised to play a crucial role in shaping the future of military communications and Earth observation capabilities. The project has garnered attention from various industry competitors who recognize the potential impact of SpaceX's technological advancements on the defense sector. Furthermore, the focus on cybersecurity within Starshield's development is likely to raise industry standards, prompting other companies to enhance their own security measures against potential threats from adversaries. Overall, Starshield not only exemplifies SpaceX's commitment to supporting national security, but also signifies a strategic shift towards more integrated and secure space operations. The NRO continues to build and fortify the largest government constellation in history, with proliferated launches continuing through 2028. They said, "Having hundreds of NRO satellites in orbit is invaluable to our nation and our partners. They will provide greater revisit rates, increasing coverage, faster delivery of information, and ultimately help us to more quickly deliver what our customers need." The shift to managing hundreds of satellites in low Earth orbit is something that the NRO has described as a top priority in multiple venues.